In this class, we will study about memory organization. Inside the memory organization, the very basic concept the starter should learn is memory hierarchy. Now, what is meant by memory hierarchy? It is the a kind of a pyramid, I will say, which can be drawn in which different types of memories can be shown in a hierarchy. So the same pyramid I have represented with some different diagram, but the purpose of both the diagram is same. Now, in the memory hierarchy, this memory hierarchy represents the memory hierarchy of a typical computer system. In a typical computer system, we observe that the computer have secondary memory, it have primary memory, right? And then it have a processor. Now, while we are fetching the data from the secondary memory, right, towards the processor, right, there is a kind of a travel that is happening for the data units that are available on the memory system. In the memory hierarchy, the same thing we will going to learn. And this is the very basic and introductory concept in memory organization. Memory is used for storing the information. Now, while we are storing the information, we are storing the information in the form of bits, because all of us knows that in the computer system, the data is stored in the form of zeros and ones. So if it is stored in the form of zeros and ones, means it is stored in the form of bits. So those all bits are stored on memory locations. Right? So we can say that one bit on a memory location, right? Another bit on another memory location, right? So when it comes to a secondary memory, right, which is on right hand side, it is at the base. Right? Now this particular diagram, I can make a pyramid of this particular diagram also if I will rotate this diagram, clockwise, right? And I can form a proper pyramid which is shown in William Stallings book for the memory hierarchy. Now, memories are an important part of a computer system. To store the information inside the computer system, we need memories. Now, why there are different types of memories in the computer system? That is also a question which is shown in front of you, that there are many different memories, right? As I have told you earlier, right? The computer which a user is purchasing, right? A customer is purchasing, right? Uh, the computer should be comfortable as far as configuration is concerned, and also the computer should be economical. These are the two basic needs of an individual or a customer. Whenever the customer is purchasing a computer from the market, right? These are the two very much basic important things that are taken into the consideration. And I will say for that particular purpose, the different types of memories are available. How uh, and why, that we will study while studying this particular concept. Now, secondary memory is a memory, right, which stores huge amount of data. Because the computer that you are purchasing is different from your mobile phone. Maybe your mobile phone have a 32 GB of storage, 64 GB of storage, but you have some different set of expectations from the computer system. And so you expect that, let us say you have 25 different movies, right? You are in fond of watching movies all the time, and you have 25 or 35, 40 different movies, right? So you will have a question where to save it, because my pen drive will not be even sufficient to store this much of information. So you will use your another friend to store that information, right? And of course your laptop, right? And your laptop will have 1 terabytes of storage, 1 terabytes of hard disk, right? So at that particular time, what happens? Your secondary memory comes in the picture. Right? The secondary memory is huge, and secondary memory is relatively cheap, right? As compared to primary memories. Now, inside the secondary memories, what different types of memories do come? The very first thing is a hard disk. Right. So when you purchase 1 terabytes of hard disk, right, from the market, right, approximately it will cost 2000 rupees or 1000 more than that. But still, this amount for 1 terabyte of memory is relatively cheaper. Right. Floppy disk, right? The floppy disks are of size approximately around 1.44 megabytes. They are considered as a part of a or as a secondary memory. Then it comes to compact disk, right? These are optical disks, right? Hard disk is a magnetic disk, right? Compact disks are of size around 700 MB. So 700 MB means half of your movie will be in one CD and half of your movie will be in another CD. So I remember the days where we were inserting first CD for first part of movie before interval, and for after interval we were supposed to insert the second CD, right? Why? Because your movie have more size, right? Right, around more than 1 GB. So there came another solution for that time, right? The solution was use DVD, use digital versatile disk, right? So digital versatile disk was uh, around 4.7 GB in the size, right? Yeah, if I will consider the floppy disk price which I was purchasing was of 15 rupees, CD it is of 10 rupees, right? DVD 20-25 rupees approximately. But see the difference in the sizes. Now 4.7 GB, I was very happy to use 4.7 GB of digital versatile disk, because this 4.7 GB, when I was having a habit of writing the data on the CD. I was using a software known as Neuro, right? And that Neuro software I was using, right, to write the data on the CD or on the DVD. Right. To write the data on CD and DVD, right, the ROM or the CD drive which is available to your laptop should be compatible, right? It should not be only read only, it should be rewritable, right? So from your drive we can write the data on the CD or on the DVD, and even your CDs and DVDs should be of that particular permissions, like not read only DVDs will work to write the data, but rewritable DVDs are needed so that we can write some sort of information. Writing the sort of information means what? I want to take movie maybe from laptop to DVD so that I can use that DVD on another computer. So the solution was, instead of using two CDs, use one DVD. So 4.7 GB was such a huge space which could accommodate, right, around more than two movies, right? So these memories are known as cheap memories, CHEAP, cheap memories, right? And they are all disk memories, right? If you will, if you could think about these memories, you will observe that these are all disk memories. So this is a magnetic disk, right? Hard disk. This is the floppy disk. This is known as optical disk, right? This is also an optical disk. So these all memories lies at the base, right? And are called as secondary memory system inside the computer. Now, uh, yeah, for a computer system, I know that there is a processor which is actually processing the data, right? Now, what happens? The processors are fast, right? They are advanced, right? Now, if the processors are advanced, right, then the processor is actually taking the data from the memory system. Now, if I will look at this particular memory system, right, this memory system is a relatively slower memory system. It is relatively slow. Now, if my processor is fast, right, this is processor is a technology, right? Memory is a technology, right? And they are working uh, hand in hand. So what happens? If the processor is advanced, then the processor will need the memory which is fast, right? So what is happening? See, the processor, just imagine the scenario. The processor is sending the request, right? That I want this data, I want this data, I want this data, I want this data item, I want that data item, and this is going on, right? Within a minute, I will say hundreds, thousands of requests are going, or even more than that, depends on your processors, because nowadays you are using uh, core i5, i7, core i9 processors, right? When I purchased my first laptop, that was a core solo laptop, so that was having a single core. Then it comes to the age of uh, core core duo laptop, dual core laptops, right? And then slowly and steadily the processor evolution uh, have was going on, and still it is evolving. So the processor will require a sort of a memory system, right, which is faster. Now what happens when it comes to fetching the data, right? So it is sending so many requests in such a small amount of a time. So at that time, what is happening? This particular secondary memory is incapable to deliver that much of data which is demanded by the processor. So there comes the invention, right, or the evolution of the primary memories. There come the evolution of primary memories, right? So primary memories are also called by the name of physical memory or main memory. Now I will take the example of 8086 processor. 8086 processor have 1 MB of main memory, right? Listen to me carefully. It has 1 MB of main memory. Why it have 1 MB of main memory? I will revise your concept, right, which we have already studied. The address bus of 8086 processor, it is of 20 uh, bits. So if it is of 20 bits, 2 raised to 20 becomes 1 MB, right? And we know that from the number of address lines, we can calculate the size of the memory system, right? The similar funda is used here. So the main memory of that 8086 processor, right, is 1 MB, it is 1 megabyte. So such a small memory, right? But still 8086 is used as basic processor, right? For all the processors that we are using nowadays, it is a 16-bit microprocessor actually, right? Now, when I will actually think about this particular memory system, right? There are some we can say adjectives that comes in my mind to talk more about these memories, right? These memories are considered as expensive memories, right? They are cheap memories, right? Because you have observed RAM, I'm sure, right? I'm damn sure about this particular thing that you have observed RAM. So you have observed that they are all cheap memories, right? Now, uh, yes, they are expensive and they are super fast memories. Now, if this particular processor is, let the processor send so many requests, right, within such a small amount of a time, not the problem, right? This memory will take the charge of the data to be handed over to the processor so that the whatever user, right, with very ease of use, I can process so many applications in my computer. Why? Because the processor is doing that, and the processor is helped by the memory system. And that particular scenario we are understanding here, that uh, these memories, right, are all cheap memories, right? So basically the primary memories are, right, RAM and ROM, right? RAM is a random access memory and ROM is a read only memory, right? Random access memory, right, it is a volatile memory, right? uh, Volatile memory means the data can be erased, right? On the other hand, if you will consider about ROM, right, it is a read only memory, means the data once written, right, cannot be edited and even cannot be deleted, right? Now if you will consider about RAM, there are two different types of RAM, right? Now you might be knowing that your computer, your mobile phone, right, your mobile phone is another computer, right? It has a 4 to 8 GB of RAM approximately, right? So if you go in the market, right, if you will purchase this RAM, right, it will cost around 2000 rupees, right? So what happens? 4 GB is coming in 2000 rupees. 1 TB, right, means 1024 GB, 1024 GB is coming in 2000 rupees. See, just um, uh, just back of your mind, think about these memories, right? About their sizes and also about their prices. Now, RAM are of two types. One is known as static RAM, another one is known as dynamic RAM, right? Dynamic RAM are relatively slower, but static RAMs are super fast and they are super expensive even. So in our computer system, dynamic RAMs are used, right? They are relatively cheaper, right? They are relatively cheaper. So uh, uh, if it comes to static RAM and if it comes to dynamic RAM, right? What is the basic difference, right? Uh, the dynamic RAM, it is made up of capacitors, right? So capacitors have the characteristics of charging and discharging, right? So it consumes, a battery backup also, right? And more battery backup is consumed by your hard disk because it is a magnetic disk, right? Where the process, we will learn about a hard disk later, right? So there is a disk and there is a plotter which is continuously reading the data and it is rotating again and again, so it consumes a lot of battery consumption. But if you will purchase Mac system, right, or you will purchase a laptop with SSD, right, it is a solid state drive, right, solid state drive. So they are using a different technology, and so the battery backup of Mac systems are, no need to tell, right? You already know this. So coming towards this dynamic RAM, right? Now, what is meant by static RAM? Static RAM, why it is super fast? Because static RAM uses flip-flops. Flip-flops are 1 bit memory cell, right? So 1 bit memory cell means just changing of state is happening. 0 1 1 0 0 1 1 0 0 1 1 0. And so you can imagine that it will consume, of course, less power, but it is so fast, right? And as it is fast, right, it is used in your computer. It is not like that, it is used in your computer, but with very small amount, maybe in your cache memories, right? Now ROM, yes, ROM sizes are very small, 4 to 8 MB. It is there in your computer, it is there in your computer, right? Yeah, why it is there of such a small memory, right? You might be thinking that 4 to 8 MB of memory, why it is in my computer, right? So I will tell you that 4 to 8 MB of ROM, right? It is a read-only memory. It is used to store the BIOS program. BIOS is BIOS, Basic Input Output System. It is a BIOS program. It is required to start the operating system, right? So it is, I will say, it is, when you start your bike, right, with a button, right, the kick is required, right? And your bike will run for hours together. Maybe you go 60 kilometer, 100 kilometers, you will 200 kilometers non-stop. The bike will not ask you to press the button again as it has already been started. So that particular role, I will say, is played by this particular ROM, right? And it is of small size, 4 to 8 MB only, right? So just watch at the sizes. This is in MB, this is in GB, this is in TB, right? Now, the data is coming from here to here, right? Then it comes to here and then it goes to processor. The data come in the form of pages. The data come in the form of pages, and that particular concept is known as memory paging, right? It is also there in operating system, it is also there in computer organization, right? So here lot of data is available, but the user is here interacting with the desktop only, right? User is playing so many applications, right? The required set of applications are open and the relevant number of pages are available here, right? And the non-required pages are, you can say, they're in the sleep mode, right? And the remaining all the data is available here, right? So the pages are coming. This is a page which is coming from secondary memory to primary memory. From the primary memory, it will come to processor. The the speed in which the processor will demand the pages will be available with that much of speed by this particular super fast memory, and it will uh, it will have a backup because the computer even the computer knows that what sort of application is opened by the user and what sort of next pages will be demanded by the user. The computer will know, because see, very simple, if I'm playing mp3 song, right, it will run for 3 to 4 minutes, right? So the next seconds pages, first second, third second, fourth second, right, 15th second, 30th second, 60th second, and go on, right? The so it knows that what will be the pages that will be fetched next by the user, right? This is one of the example that I'm giving to you, and the primary memory is taking the responsibility of holding that particular pages, and the remaining data is available here. So the pages are coming here. From here they are given to the static RAM, right? uh, this is, L2 cache. So this is in your configuration when you have purchased your laptop or mobile phone, you have observed, right? These are the different types of sizes of those technologies, right? L2 cache, it is of 2 to 4 MB, and for that you need to pay rupees 2000, right? Here you can observe, right? And this is the interface between your main memory and the processor. In the processor, there is L1 cache. It is, of size in KBs, 8 KB, right? And from there, the data is given to the processor, right? What is the architecture of the processor? We are aware about that. That is not the point to be discussed here. So I will now talk about the price of your computer system, right? The memory which is huge, right, right, are here, right? They are huge, but the drawback is they are slower memories, right? So they are slower, so they are cheaper also, right? They are all disk memories. So plus some small amount of dynamic RAM, right? 4 or 8 GB or a medium size 4 to 8 GB. It will consume some price, right? And very small amount of static RAM or cache memories, they will consume some amount of price, right? And this is how your computer, the laptop that you are purchasing from the market, right, have a price of 40,000, 45,000, 35,000, or even some price less, or some price more than that. And this is how the price of the computer is finalized by the manufacturer. Because you can imagine, if the dynamic RAM of your computer might be of 1 TB, then it was a totally altogether a different scenario. The price will go very much high, because I need to increase the hard disk size even into that particular proportion. Right. So this is how the price of the computer system is decided by the manufacturer. Now, volatile, non-volatile, cheap memories, right? Disk memories, right? Cheap memories use semiconductor technologies, right? Hard disk, floppy disk use magnetic fields. CD, DVDs are disks, right? We want fast memories as well as cheap memories. So we need primary as well as secondary memory in the computer system. Now I'm answering your question that why so many memories are available in the computer system, right? So you can right, whatever thought you may come in your mind, that why my computer does not have only secondary memory, why my computer does not have only primary memory, right? So this is the scenario what the user is expecting, right? Processor never operate on secondary memory. It works on primary memory, because primary memories are faster and secondary memories are slower. Complete data is stored on the secondary memory, right? Memory paging is the technology which is used to take the data from the secondary memory inside the processor through the primary memory, right? And the data is taken in the form of blocks, and those blocks are known as pages, and so it is called as memory paging, right? And it is the similar concept, like you have a notebook, and on your notebook you are writing your daily work, homework, classwork, right? Solving some numericals, and completely you are right, completing, let us say, 10 pages, 15 pages. And when you are reading those 15 pages in your examination time, you are reading the whole amount of data, but through the pages, first page, second page, third page, and from there the name have come as a memory paging, right? And we will go into the detail at that particular time when we will learn this memory paging about page replacement. This is happening in the primary memory system, right? So things which are not used for a long time, right, are thrown out of RAM. So while starting long previously opened application time to start, right? What does it mean by that? You might have observed that um, you have paused the movie that you are watching, right? Let us say that movie is downloaded, right? It is available in the D drive of your computer, right? You are playing that movie. So for half hour, 1 hour, you have watched that particular movie, right? And after 1 hour, right, you are very much hungry, right? And you are now planning to have Maggie, right? So what you will do, you will pause that particular movie, right, for Maggie, and you will go to kitchen, prepare the Maggie, right? You had Maggie, then cup of tea. Then after 15 minutes you are back on your laptop, and then you have started your resumed your movie from that particular time. So it is a minor right, it is a observation that you need to do. it takes some time to start. Immediately it does not start. Why? Immediately that movie does not start. Why? Because things which are not used for a long time are thrown out of RAM, because there were pages, friends. Those were there in the RAM, right? So as it is not as they were not active for maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, right? So they are thrown out of RAM inside the secondary memory, right? So while starting long previously opened application, it takes time to start. So that is everybody's observation, because they have gone from RAM to secondary memory, so they will going to take time. And once it have started, right, the primary memory demands all those pages from the secondary memory. So from the secondary memory the data will come to primary memory, and then you will start continuing with your movie watching. A pen drive, your friend, right? It is a cheap memory, it is faster, right? SSD, right? Many of the people, right, have purchased, hard disk with some sort of SSD, hard disk plus SSD, right? So SSD is a solid state drive, right? It is super fast, right? But it is super expensive also, and because of that, the Mac systems are expensive as compared to our regular laptops. iPhones are expensive as compared to your MI Samsung phones, right? So Mac uses SSD only, as power backup of Mac laptop is very long, whereas our regular laptops hard disk, in which the disk rotate continuously, consuming huge battery backup, right? What does ROM do? It holds the BIOS, right? So there are two types of RAM, right? Static and dynamic, right? So dynamic RAM uses capacitors, right? Static RAM uses flip-flops, right? Dynamic RAM have types: synchronous dynamic RAM. See, static RAM is faster because it uses flip-flops. Flip-flop is a 1-bit memory cell. Dynamic RAM uses capacitors, right? Both needs the power supply. Capacitor, it charges and it discharges, and 0 to 1, 1 to 0 is happening, right? In 1-bit memory cell, that is in flip-flop. This is how 1 bit of data is stored in our computer system. If we can combine lakhs of bit, we can store text file. If we will combine 10 lakhs of bits, it will store, right, images. Millions of bit, it will store audio. Billions of bit, it will store video or a movie, right? And this is how the data is getting stored in the computer system, right? Because how the data is getting stored in the computer system, that can be the question what you will gonna answer at that particular time, right? So this is how the data is stored in our computer system. Static RAMs are faster because flip-flops just change the state, right? No time is required for changing the state. 0 to 1, 1 to 0, 1 to 0, 0 to 1. So even I will say 1001, it is very fast. I even enjoy 1001, 01, 01, 10, right, while speaking even. But when it comes to capacitor, right, it takes time. Mobile phone, right, it will take, if it is turbocharger even, at least take 20 minutes from 10 to 100% charging, right? So because charging and discharging, it is a slow and steady phenomenon, like your tortoise, right? It was very slow and steady, right? In that story you might have heard in your childhood, but the rabbit was very fast, right? And like your flip-flops. So on the other hand, capacitors take time to charge, right? The RAM which we use in our computer is a dynamic RAM, because SRAM It's super fast, super expensive. Even SRAM we have, I have shown that in diagram also, but it is small in size. Cache memories are uh, put inside the processor, right? From Pentium onwards, right? From 90s, right? So cache memories came into the picture. Earlier, there was no concept like a cache memory.